Our next session is amazing, the stories that are about to be told here today. I had the pleasure of meeting one of our panelists a couple of years ago. She was being honored in Washington by Secretary Clinton's organization, Vital Voices. And at the presentation of this award, where she was recognized, the award-winning journalist, Nicholas Kristof, who has championed her cause, was brought to light one of the most serious issues addressing women and girls today, and that's the issue of trafficking. And so today we have with us two amazing women and their quest to end modern-day slavery. We have Somaly Mom, who is the founder and president of the Somaly Mom Foundation, who was sold at the age of 12 into forced prostitution by her grandfather. She has since then not only freed herself, but freed many others from this fate. And she has become a champion of women and girls, not just in Southeast Asia, she's from Cambodia, but from around the world. And she has agreed to be with us today. So Somaly, why don't you come to the stage? And also, thank you. And we also have Zeenat Rahman, who is Secretary Kerry's Special Advisor on Global Youth Issues at the U.S. Department of State. Thanks so much.
Hi, everybody. Hope you all are doing well today. So I wanted to start with just a couple of stats. One is that human trafficking is the second largest and fastest criminal industry in the world, second only to drug trade. And it's a $32 billion industry that affects 21 million people. Now, that's a lot of numbers, and the scope of that challenge is enormous. But because this session is about leadership, there is, I think, no better way to talk about this than to tell stories. So Somaly, it's such a privilege for us all to have you here with us today because you flew from Cambodia to be with us. Could you just start by telling us your story and how that has progressed to the Somaly Mom Foundation and the work that you're doing there? But just start with your story.
Thank you. 5 days now I'm here. I get a little bit jet lag and tired. Thank you so much to each of you and to all of you. And then first of all, I just want to say thank to all the people. I learn a lot from you. And then, first of all, if I can sit here today, stand, because I have all of you who supporting my work. So I'm Somaly. I'm just one of women in Cambodia have been born in a struggle. It's mean like I have been born with no parents, no name, no mother, nothing in my life. Born in that way, it's not easy for a child like myself. And then I remember for whole life until now, what is my dream is about to have family, to have mother, to have someone I can hugging her and tell her about my story, but I don't have it. Later on, I have been sold to the brothel. Sold to the brothel, have been beating all time. I don't know exactly about my age, so I don't know, it's about 12 or 13, because for me, for me, one, but also, if you look at back of all the Cambodian people, it's my period. We don't know exactly about the age, about our years that we have been born, but I remember I was so young. And then have been sold to the sex slavery. It's not easy to explain each of you. I know that right now I have my books. It's available and you can read about myself because it's so hard to talk about the story in the brothel, but one thing I want to let all of you know that for me, when I was in the brothel, the hard thing is not about beating, it's not about raping. The hard in my life is about keeping silence. Keeping silence, and then look at the people, they just look at you like, it's your fault, it is your mistake, you are prostitute. No one come to you and tell you why you are here. Why you are there? Did you get hurt? No one asking you the questions. So that is hurt. And I was there, like I tell for myself, I don't know exactly about the time, about the years. I close my eyes, think maybe like 10 years, like more. But I just realized that I have been abused when I was around age of 10 or 12, and then like abuse sexuality, and then after sold to the brothel, like, yeah, years and years and years. And then for me to tell the people, it's not easy when you have been when you have been raped in Cambodia, you know, like maybe also in United States. As a child, you cannot stand up and tell the people that you have been raped. You keep here, you keep here. You cannot tear down too.
Right.
At the night time, you just cry. You don't want to cry in front of the people, because a lot of people, they just tell you that Somali, you born bad luck.
Yeah.
And so for me, I understand what I have been through, the hard time, the hard way. I know each of you, you can imagine what I have been through, but you cannot be like myself, what I have been through. And why I start my work.
Can you talk about when did things turn, and how did things turn for you?
I think when I was in the brothel, I have no idea to escape from the brothel. No idea, because if I escape from the brothel, who helped me? And then one day I have a friend of mine in the brothel, younger than me, just arrived because she knew she had been sold to the sex, and then they sticking her and sold her, sticking her and sold her. She had to have 10 or 20 clients a day, and one day she come to me, she say she cannot have a client anymore. And then that's the day that she had been killed in front of me, and that is the day that I get anger with the brothel owner, and then I run out from the brothel. So my idea to run out is to kill him, to take something, I don't know, but I was very angry. And then after I just realized that where I'm going, sitting, and then I know, I meet someone from Switzerland. He come to me, ask me the questions. Who are you in your body, all infection? Why don't you go to the hospital? And I look at him and said, that is the first man who asked me the question about my body had been infecting. And he bring me to the clinic, clean up, and then he asked me what I have been through. So I tell him. And then, but you know, again, when you are in the brothel, beating, you have traumatized, stigmatized, you have no hope. You don't see anything outside. So I go back to the brothel. One time, second time, and I get out, and after that I married with a French guy. My husband, he's a nice guy, and I'm going to France. He's nice. I get divorced now. He's nice, but I cannot be with guy anymore. And I was in France again, because you have been sold in a brothel, because you are prostitute, they call you. When I was in France, the people asked me, what are you doing, Somaly, in Cambodia? I tell them I was in the brothel. They look at me, yes, prostitute. Badly they look at me, no one asking me why. I feel very discrimination by the people. I feel hurt in my heart. I tell my husband, I need to go back to Cambodia. I want to die in my country. I come back to my country. They come up, my life changed. The first time when I meet a girl, her name is Tumdi, she's my everything. I remember when I hold her in my arm, she suffered from HIV/AIDS. She had been beaten by the brothel owner, by the people. They want to kill her because she had.
How old was she when you met her?
I never interesting about the age at all. You know, like later on I know that she's 18. But that is my husband asked her age, because for me, not about age, it's about I have to help her. Helping her, and then later on I knew that she had HIV/AIDS. She had been sold in the brothel. And then one day, before she passed away, she told me she no longer live with me, like she lived around like 6 months or 8 months. Before she passed away, she looked at me, she say, Somaly, thank you. And I look at her, thank for what? She laughing all the time, she look at my kid, and she says, it's been a lot of my life. And for me, I have tear, but in my heart, tear. I don't want to show her that I'm crying in front of her. And she told me, I never been happy in my life.
Wow.
And you hold me. She passed away. She said, continue to help, to doing what you're doing, and that is my life starting. So now I have AFSIP. It's my work in Cambodia, 3 centers, helping the girl. We have almost 200 girls, and since at the beginning that we start 1996, we have 7,000 girls have been saved. and save and give them sustainable business. We have Somaly Mom Foundation. I have my best and great team here. I cannot tell you how much I love them. And I feel very, I don't know, lucky women from the brothel, from nothing, helping the girl, what I helping them. For me, I start just to have saving them and give them love. I don't know how to set up everything. I don't know about the finance, about anything. I don't know about nothing. I just want to give them love and be a mother, cooking for them. I know how to cook well. Day by day, I starting by the people who teaching me, and they come and help me for management. And now I have Gina, I have my team here. They help me to raise a fund because working in the sex slavery, when you don't have education, when you are prostitute, they look at you like no trust.
Yeah, of course.
No trust at all. So now I start by my team who trust me and help me.
So when we were talking before, we were talking about the importance of education, but also defining education as very broad, that it encompasses for you, for your girls, a lot of different things, because they come to you and say, we don't have any skills, what can we do? And so can you talk a little bit about how you look at education, and not just that, but also the idea that just because they've been rescued maybe from a brothel doesn't mean that they've been that's it and we can walk away, and kind of the trajectory that you see over the course of their lifetime, that you have to engage them, that we all have to engage on this issue.
Education, I love to go to school. When I come first time last month in Stanford here, I dream to go to school, but I can't because I want to stay in Cambodia. So for me, by education, it's not just about going to school. Education is start from home. It starts from your friend, it starts from where you are around you. That is education for me. That is what I get education from all of you. I'm learning a lot from all of you. So at the same time in the center, when the girl, they come to the center, the first thing we provide them, of course, first of all, love and hug. They have been never trust, listen to them. Secondly, alphabetization. I'm French. When I get tired, I come back to French language. And then because a lot of them, they don't know how to write and read. So that is so important. And secondly, training, skill training. You know, some way all of us, we can say, yes, poverty, yes, the girl that have been sold in the brothel, yes, but sometimes we don't give them options. So for me, give them option, voice, and choice. So that is what I can give to them. So they come to the center, they can choosing to be hairdressing, to be weaving, sewing, and we have also English class, computer training. But I can tell you, more than 10 years right now, I have one of my kids, she's third year of law school, and one of them, she's second year of psychology school. I remember that one when she come first in the center. She have problem. I got her, maybe she might be 7 and 8 years old. And the psychology tell me she have a big problem. And she tell me, Mommy, I don't want to see these people. What is psychology? That is crazy. She don't want it. And later on, she say, Mommy, I want to be a psychology. I want to be a lawyer. I want to be, you know, they have all the dream. And I tell them, now, I know you have dream, but eat first. We need to feed them first. Dream later, not now. Today she's second year, and she come to me all time with all like bright. She tell me, Mommy, it's so great to be a psychology. It's great. So last month I have 5 of them. They just graduated high school, and that is what we provide them education. And I always believe on education. You know, education, that is the best way that we can handle poverty. We can end poverty. We can end the kind of abuse. I don't know. My English become very low now. I'm sorry.
Do you want to talk about maybe the partnership that you just did with, is it with L'Oreal?
With
Estee Lauder, which I think is a creative kind of way to think about education and skills building. Maybe you can tell us about that a little.
Yes, so by that too, you know, I can tell you I'm a lucky woman that I have always the people come and help me. They know who I am. I tell them, if you love me, no conditions. I'm crazy, you just love me and love my girl. So if you love me, help me. So I have 4 years ago, dog, Dodge, dog, Dodge. His name is so, your name is not easy to pronounce it. Dog, he come to Cambodia.
Doug.
He read the book. He come to Cambodia, and he visit the center. And then all my girls share the story, talking to him, and he's become like the brother of all the girls. And he become like inspired by all the girls. At the same time, the girl inspired by him too. As a man, visit the center, he showed that he's a great man, he's a good man. He's, in the worldwide, we don't have all the bad men. And he come to me, he asked me, Somaly, what can I do? What can I help you? Of course, I never know. I tell him, you have educations, you have your talents. Why don't you use your talents? I don't have any, I have very basic education. I can have 3 centers in Cambodia, I can have 2 in Vietnam, 2 in Laos. So use your talent to help me. Last year, he come with the idea of, okay, we set up the beauty salon in Cambodia. So that is the first time that the company like Estee Lauder, Clinic, Bumble and Bubble, and something brown.
Bobby Brown.
Bobby Brown. That is the first thing. Bobby Brown. They come to Cambodia, they training my girl, and then they starting talking with the girl, and then they build a salon with the girl. It's not just they going to build the salon, but they build it with the idea from the girl. So the salon right now is set up, helping the many women and girls for the solutions. And the one thing, and second thing also, we can also, by this salon, the people, they can come up and we can
Rehabilitate.
slavery, re-eradication, I don't know. I don't know, the word is so word for me. How to make the people know about the slavery, and we want to end the slavery, re-eradications,
Well, we want to raise awareness.
slavery.
Yeah.
Raise awareness and make the people know. And then also, at the same time, inspire the people. They come to the center, they say, she was in the process, but look at now, she used her talents, and she can make you beautiful. But not just outside. We clean your hand, we talk about our story, we share with you, we want to clean your heart, your body, everything we want to clean you. And we want to teach you about love and about forgiveness. Because what we have been through, what I teaching my girl every day is so painful. 4-year-old girl come to the center, 5-year-old, that is my girl, every single day that I survive with them. What we have been through, we cannot forget it, but we learn how to forgive it. To forgive it and to keep going and showing the people that you can do it, we can do it.
Right.
And that is our work today. And I hope that in the next district that we can get more partnership that we can work with, and then we can give the girl more options, because of course that I can give them like hairdressing, weaving, this, but we want to give them more.
Right.
Yeah.
So, Shannon, 2 speakers before us gave this incredibly inspirational talk about the power of the collective and the power in this room. And earlier this year, actually last year, President Obama has made a big commitment to also end modern-day slavery, as he called it. And we recently, as the U.S. government, began a $6 million partnership for innovation around the world in addressing this problem and this challenge. But if we could kind of end on maybe, I don't know, a call to action for this audience, clearly raising awareness is one. I think, when you look at it from a multi-stakeholder approach, that we all have a role to play in this. Governments have the enforcement and the prosecutional role in making sure to prosecute traffickers, protection of survivors, which is what you're doing. And then this idea of partnership, and that this is a long-term thing, that we're not in this for, a day or 5 days, but can you talk about your commitment and the call to action that you told me earlier for this audience?
Yeah, so the call to action, I love when the first woman, she come and she open it, she say, it's not about action talking, it's about right now actions. Yeah. We have to have actions. So I just want to present you one of my girl. Zeenat, can you stand up? She's thank you. She's one of my survivor from sex slave. I remember when we saved Zeenat from the brothel, she was about 12, 13 years old. I have her. She come to the center, and then she don't speak Khmer, not English, and she hate me, and she hate all the Cambodian people. Because she's Vietnamese, she's been sold in this country beating her, hurt her very much. And she come to the center because she hate us. She tried to beating her friend. She tried to broken the TV, everything. I'm sorry, Zeenat. I'm sorry. Okay. And then my staff called me. She say they tell me Somaly. We need to let her go because she don't want to stay and she don't speak. We don't understand her what she's what she want, what she tell. And I tell them, wait. I want to meet her personally. So I'm going to Zeenat. I tell her, I just want to meet you. Like give me like 5 minutes. So I bring her to the room, and then I take her hand to myself, and I talk to her in Cambodian. And she speak to me all in Vietnamese. I don't understand her. But she don't understand me. I don't understand her. I try to explain everything about that, how she's important to me. And I believe in her that I can help her, that we can change. That, I just like, Zeenat, I want you to stay with me, please. And then later on, the day later, she decided to stay with me. Now 15 years, 15, she is now the Voice for Change co-director. So she worked with 14 of Voice for Change, 14 Voice for Change who working with her right now. So that is our solution, that is another solution. So her group is going reach out of the people, sometimes sharing about the story that you cannot sell your kid to the brothel. You will face the law, the problem. So she reached out in the community. And then they going also to the brothel every day. That is my work before, every day, to empower the victim to become a survivor. Because our role is we want to empower survivor to be a part of solution, by give them voice and choice, and then by bring them up as priority voice and their choice, So she have also her own radio talk show. So in Cambodia right now we have Monday to Friday radio talk show. It's all about trafficking, about law enforcement, about how to help, how to handle, and she inviting the ministry, talking about what did you involve, because of course that is still corrupted in Cambodia, and then it's not easy to work with the country, our country who have we have a culture about sacrifice life for the family,
Right.
about the woman have no quality, about a lot of things.
So is it then we're raising awareness of stories like that, stories like yours, but also kind of these cultural issues that we want to,
Yes,
yeah. Okay.
we try our best.
Yeah, no, I mean, this is incredibly inspirational. I think everybody can connect with Somaly afterwards and her team. Thank you. Thank you for sharing your story and for being with us today.